Call of Duty World War 2 has been out for a week or so now, and we're already seeing some interesting statistics about the game. Statistics that show the game is way more popular than last year's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, for example. Which is actually less impressive than I first thought, because that game was not good. But hey, here's a video on it anyway.
So you've been off, Mike? Have you been playing Call of Duty? Is that what it is?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
I've been off, but yeah, I haven't been playing COD, because who would do that?
On a video we're just about to sing its praise.
You
thought we were being positive.
COD's alright.
Pull the rug from under you. Call of Duty's return to its historical roots in the Second World War turns out to have been a very good idea. Over the last few years, Activision's centerpiece shooter franchise has been flagging pretty heavily when it comes to sales and player numbers. Last year's Infinite Warfare sold almost 50% less copies than Black Ops 3 the year before. Annual releases and an obsession with nudging closer and closer into sci-fi territory with each iteration have seen Call of Duty's sales and player numbers slide pretty consistently year on year. Well, this year is different, and short of going the Ubisoft route. Why did I say f***ing route then?
It's all the pressure from the Americans.
It's all the Americans bearing down on me. Ah, he's saying route, not route. Ah.
Brits.
My brain is succumbing.
Can't even speak English. Can't even speak American.
Oh, I'm gonna take a different route this time.
Oh.
Well, this year is different, and short of going the Ubisoft route of giving its star franchise a year off, Activision has tried to freshen things up. As some astute readers might pick up from the title, Call of Duty World War 2 takes place in World War 2, and players, it seems, have responded very, very positively to that.
Now, while Call of Duty World War 2 may not be a huge uptick in quality, if, for example, you compare its PS4 Metacritic rating of 80% with Infinite Warfare's 77% last year, there's definitely been a huge uptick in player numbers. Way more people are playing COD World War 2 compared with last year's Infinite Warfare. Way more people. 400% more people, in fact. According to stat tracking site GetHype.com, COD World War 2 debuted as the #8 most played game on Steam, with a peak of 76,000 players on its launch weekend. That is a 395% increase over 2016's Infinite Warfare, which brought in a peak of 15,000 players, a huge drop-off from Black Ops 3 the year before. In fact, GetHype says World War 2's player base, on Steam at least, is the franchise's biggest since 2012's Black Ops 2. That game had a peak player count of 99,000 players 5 years ago on the PC.
World War II's player numbers are backed up by stronger sales figures as well. The launch week sales for this year's COD are 57% higher than Infinite Warfare according to GfK Chart Track. COD's player numbers on Steam have dropped consistently year on year since they took the franchise into the future with Black Ops 2. In the years since, we've had Call of Duty Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, all of which were variations on a near future or sci-fi theme. The question now is, how will Activision retain the players yet again next year if they bring out yet another annual iteration of the Call of Duty franchise?
This is the second COD video that we've done this week. There's kind of good news for the COD series, but this was pretty much their ace in the hole, right? This was like the, okay, we'll go back to World War II when things are getting desperate. Things got kind of desperate last year because the sales were down. It just came at the right time for the franchise to just bring it back up and be more buoyant, and it's been a huge success compared to last year at least, and it's kind of resuscitated the franchise a little bit. It got people talking a little bit more than they were in the last few years for these games, because it is different. It is World War II, it's not a near future sci-fi setting. This is it now. What do they do next year? They want to keep bringing these games out year on year on year, so where do they go from here?
I think it's a big thing in the industry right now is player fatigue. People getting fatigued, the same old shit year in, year out. 4 or 5 years in a row they did the future sci-fi shooter or kind of thing. You can see the numbers dwindling, so they've refreshed it and they've taken it back to the roots. Everyone was saying, let's boost on the ground, we want World War II again. That's what they did, and they've seen the results are good for that. Ubisoft are dealing with it in a little different way. Assassin's Creed took a year off to try and stop people getting fatigued from it. And again, Assassin's Creed Origins has seen a huge uptick in sales, and people are singing that game's praises as well. So when it comes to next year, what do they do? Do they take a year off, or do they keep flogging this for another 5 years until eventually it dwindles and dwindles and they've got to refresh the whole thing again? That's the question that they've got to try and face in future. But all good and well, if you're enjoying Call of Duty World War II, then more power to you. Apparently loads of other people are too.
It's obviously why they keep bringing them out year on year, because they make a lot of money. If they decide not to bring one out next year, it's like, no thanks, we won't have $1 billion or however much they make. You're actively deciding not to make a lot of money this year. When the sales really drop off properly and people really stop playing it, like they did with Guitar Hero, that was Activision as well, just flogging it to death, that's when we will have a break in COD, I think. I don't think they'll do the Ubisoft thing of having a year off. I'm really interested now to see where it goes from here. Is it going to be Call of Duty World War II 2? I mean,
Speaking of Guitar Hero, Mike, I was in the arcade the other day. Guitar Hero is in the arcade now.
Yeah.
And that's where its final resting place is, in the arcade. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if Call of Duty ever dies, well, that's where you can find it. It's going to be its final resting place. Because I was just surprised by all the kind of modern games that are in the arcade these days. For me, it was like Double Dragon and shit, and they were f***ing awesome games.
Classic games, actual games.
But there's Guitar Hero there now, and it's a bit sad.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like a cruise singer or something. Like someone's been quite famous and then they're like singing on cruise liners for the rest of their career.
Damn it.
So that's another video on COD World War 2. Apparently a lot of people are playing it. Are you playing it? Let us know what you think about it down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. You can check out that video right there, right now if you want. And there's a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.